Hello and welcome to the Initiative Order, and welcome to the next installment of Far Realms, our KULT Divinity Lost Homebrew campaign, where I, your keeper, lead a group of lost souls, just beyond the veil and to asylums. But real quick, before we jump into player introductions and start setting the mood, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors here at TIO. First on the docket is Session Zero Clothing, D&D inspired streetwear, which is super sick, and they've been posting like crazy to social media, so I highly recommend you check it out because the setup is awesome. You can use the code ORDER at checkout for 15% off their merchandise. Next up is Norse Foundry. They are artisan dice makers, everything from wood to metal to all the stuff. Super cool sets. I have several sitting in a cart. You can use code TIO15 at checkout for 15% off there. Next up is Roaming Player Gear, amazing tabletop gaming supplies by our very own Got DM. You can use code Carnaby20 for 20% off the Dice Tower and Tray combo set. Definitely go give them a look. And of course, next up on our list, and certainly not the least, is Mithril Armory. They are the creators of the insane 10d20 dice puzzles and also the Die of Newt Kickstarter. You can use the code initiative at checkout there off of all of their merchandise for 10% off. And of course, as always, if you dig what we as players and myself as the GM are doing and you want to support us directly, you can do that through our Ko-fi, just to show your appreciation for our time and their suffering. All other subs, bits, all of that jazz go to support the Initiative Order and all of our endeavors, keeping it running, and of course supporting good causes, because we're good kids. So we are sadly missing our Elenora this evening, but you can definitely go check them out at johannaxmachina on the socials. They're a cosplayer and do the things. Ronan, our newly famous TikToker.
What's up? I'm Ronan Fox. You can find me at Ronan Fox on TikTok. I'm obsessed because I have main character syndrome. And I'm a writer, world builder. I work over on Twitch on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, where my goal is to build a world as extensive as Tolkien's, and I provide inspiration, tips, all that sort of stuff on world building. So you can check it out. And tonight I'm playing Sylas Black. Just a dude. That's it. No spoilers.
Hashtag no spoilers. Casually, of course.
Oh, hey, what can I say? It's Jay, Casual. You can find me on all social media at Just2Casual and Casual Creativity over on Twitch, Friday streamer, entertainer, all-around storyteller, and creator of wonderful worlds of storytelling, including the anime-inspired TTRPG, Deep Breath. I am Tyson James Everett, an individual who just wants to go home, mostly. Wherever that might be, or may not be, or might have been, or could have been. Send help.
But you're trapped here with our amazing special guest, Logan.
Hey everybody, I'm your friendly internet dungeon master, Logan Hanley, also known as DM_screening. I do some adventure writing, I do homebrew with my friend Daniel of Dragon Rock RPG, and most importantly, I run the Ecrium Expeditions, a 5e campaign set in my world, the lands of Ecrium. Tonight, I am bringing you the bowl cut baby of the asylum, Teddy.
I love Teddy.
Please don't let that stick.
I love it. The bowl cut baby.
The bowl cut baby. The bowl cut baby of Bradford.
I love it. Oh my god.
I love
and
alliteration, guys. I'm sorry.
I can't get over that. I'm writing that down for next time.
So you were not.
Oh no, it's happening.
Oh no,
Bowl
that just as casual has stuck with Jay, bowl cut baby has stuck with Teddy.
Yeah, it's happening.
That's what the BB and BBEG stands for.
Bowl cut baby evil guy.
Oh my god.
Can confirm.
And of course, I am Taryn Hackett, your keeper this evening. You can catch me at Valrook across the socials. Generally, creative human TTRPG player and GM here on the Initiative Order, as well as a dice maker and, of course, Eldritch Entity. I am the creative behind Umbral Oculus Dice. That is UO_dice on the Instagram. Link in bio for merchandise and my dice shop. I do have a bunch of new sets hitting my shop in the next few weeks, just in time for holidays. And again, you can catch me here in the Initiative Order every Monday for Vault, and alternating Tuesdays for Ecrium, where I play a moth person. So with that, before we jump and totally set in the mood, quick heads up. Obviously, this is a horror game. It contains horror elements. We are set in an asylum currently, so there will be mental health themes. If at any point you as a viewer need to step away to catch your breath, whatever you need to do, please feel free to do so. Myself and the players have a horror contract that we have agreed upon. We have discussed lines, veils, all of those things, and we know all of the safety bits. And of course, with that, your perception is failing you. This is your reality. Nothing is wrong. You've taken your medication. The doctor is in. Now let us peer behind the veil one more time. right. And welcome back. So, last episode, you each awoke to a regular morning in Bradford Mental Institute. Some of you, better behaved than others, took your medication in preparation for the day. Teddy, you watched as your previous roommate was taken away, seemingly to the third floor, for refusing to take their medication. This didn't seem to affect you because this is not the first time that one of your roommates has had to be taken away, especially for misbehaving. Nurse Nora only asks very basic rules. You've been at the asylum your whole life. It's never been an issue for you. Tyson, you awake to yet another reality. Looking around you, everything's changed, but you're yourself. You have your memories. Yet you find everything suspicious, but you seem to have, even in this reality, a good grip and understanding on the things happening around you. Sylas, you awake with somebody else's memories. And your own. Seemingly coming off of what would have been an OD and a come down, you find yourself in a mental institute. You continue to try to find logic in a place that seemingly has none. All of you eventually make your way to the recreation room where you witness one of the other patients try to book it out of the room, Gordon. But as he returns from receiving treatment, you catch a brief glimpse and find that his legs have been sewn together using a bright red thread, curing his dromomania, which is the incessant need to roam. Tyson and Sylas both had one-on-ones with the doctors of this institute. And after eating lunch, hearing some beautiful music come from the record player, you were adjourned to recreation outside in the courtyard for the remainder, where Tyson peered beyond to see expanse of dead trees and mountains in the distance, ash raining down on a landscape. Teddy making doodles in the snow of a two-headed monstrous figure that he had seen previously. And Sylas witnessing a female figure from the third floor that he seemingly recognized as being Jack's wife. In this moment, Elenora, still panicking from witnessing a familiar image of her childhood, remains in the fetal position. You see both Mike and Bill take notice of her recoiling up to the fence line. You can see one of them taking something in their hand from Nurse Nora and approaching briskly the four of you as you sit out in the snow. And that's where we pick up. Mike and Bill make their way quickly, vehemently, and straight directly to Elenora before instantly, without saying a word to any of you, injecting her in her thigh with whatever fluid the needle had. She appears to go limp as they hoist her up to walk her inside. Yes, Sylas.
I'm assuming those are the two guards that I had a deal with.
This is Bill
Which
and
one
Mike.
was the cool one?
Mike. Mike is the very tall linebacker ginger guy.
Okay. So I will rush up to Mike and be like, what's going on? Where are you guys taking her?
Dude, she's having a mental break. We gotta take her inside.
To her room?
Yeah. I mean, if Nurse Nora sees fit, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
They begin to take her away. Teddy and Tyson, do you say anything as she goes? I mean, at this point, she's like, you can see her eyes are kind of rolling. She seems seemingly like less than responsive. Bill just continues to make kind of snide faces, like he almost enjoys his job.
Teddy would kind of just walk up, follow up until the door, and just it's okay. It'll be all right.
You can see Nora on the other side of the doors.
They'll take care of you. And like I know she's unconscious because I've probably seen something similar happen to other people before.
Oh yeah.
But just kind of making sure she knows subconsciously.
You see Nora holding a like a clipboard, and she's writing something down, and you hear her mutter something about as they're taking her in, the door kind of swings a little bit. You kind of catch a whisper of, go ahead and take her to the baths, as the doors close finally. You do know, Teddy, the baths are a treatment method used to snap people out of things. They are both hot, extremely hot, or extremely cold. And they're unpleasant, as the metal cases that go over these baths come to their necks and hold them in place in these baths. You do know this to be an unpleasant experience. But you can hear the door lock on the other side.
And when it does that, I'll just kind of like slink back along the sidewall again.
Teddy, do you know where they're taking her? What they'll do for this sort of thing?
Nora said they were taking her to the baths.
Oh, that doesn't sound too bad.
Tyson, you also know them to not be pleasant.
They are about as pleasant as some of the things our friends upstairs experience. They're not as rough on the body, but mentally they're quite fatiguing.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I don't think we can wait on her. I think we probably need to go, right? If she'll be okay. I mean, I don't think she's in danger right now.
Would I know how like lethal or like for lack of better words dangerous the baths are in terms of treatment, or are they?
It very much depends on how bad the episode is, and it depends on what mood Nurse Nora is in. Because you have seen people come out of the baths with blackened fingers for when it was too cold, and you have seen people come out with blisters.
I mean, there is danger, some danger to it. But typically, I would say most of the time they're fine. But it really depends on how Nora chooses to handle it in the moment. Can I recall her words and do a vibe check?
Go for it. I'll let you do that just to see how she was. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Intuition?
Yeah.
That's a 20.
20.
I got a 10 and a 9 plus 1.
Yeah, that will do it. In that situation, you get to ask me 2 questions about the person.
Did Nurse Nora feel angry? Or wait, is it just yes or no? Yeah.
No, it
okay.
doesn't have to be yes or no.
Okay. What was Nurse Nora's mood in that moment?
She seemed kind of rather business as usual. As she's saying this, like she's not even looking up from her clipboard. She didn't look overly concerned. It didn't seem urgent. So it was fairly calm.
Okay. I mean that's really all I need to know. I don't really have a second question. So.
Yeah, no, in that moment, like business as usual. If she were exceptionally angry on those days, is when people tend to. Tyson would have been somebody you've seen come out with a blister, for sure.
Sylas, I think she'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, Well, I haven't, but I know she was chained to a ceiling at one point, so I think she's pretty tough. But I don't know. I think we should move and maybe just check back in on her when we're done. Are we gonna try to do this?
You keep saying move. I don't know what you're talking about.
I want to go up to the third floor. I know that I saw his wife up there. Or at least ask or check it out or something. I mean, maybe you don't have to go.
And I'm just gonna glance over at
Tyson, who's
Tyson,
been
yeah.
silent.
Are you gonna try? You know what happens up there.
I'm aware.
Well, here, and I'll grab Teddy's arm and we'll kind of walk back out into the open area and I'll point to the window. What's in there? What part of the third floor is that?
The part that you're looking at. So on the third floor, the way the building is shaped is kind of like the big uppercase I, correct? So in front of you is the long stretch of building. The window that he's looking at would be to your right, and it's one of the few windows on the third floor to your right side. You know very little about the third floor as far as specifics go. However, you do know that mirrored on the second floor, those are the treatment rooms of the second floor. So, and the way that everything works, it tends to mimic. You do know that. So your best assumption is that those are the treatment rooms for the third floor.
I mean, they're probably just standard treatment rooms. I've never been into the rooms up there specifically.
Sure.
But I mean, you saw how the guy was with earlier today.
Order.
And yes, and I was going to say also, you do know on the first floor that there's like a ballroom, because you've seen them as you walk through kind of bits and pieces, especially as long as you've been here, Teddy. You know, there's like a ballroom for receptions. You know, there's like the waiting and check-in area. You do know that there's like a general doctor's office there for when people are first admitted. And then you know that there are two actual apartments, one for Nurse Nora and the other for the primary care physician of the Institute.
So the first floor is more of like clerical and reception. Second floor and third floor are the actual facilities.
So cool. There's the primary care physician's apartment that is always basically on campus. Nurse Nora always on campus, and then the rest of it's clerical. And yeah. Tyson, you were saying?
Tyson's remaining pretty quiet, actually, just kind of staring into the building.
Tyson, what did you say you needed to get? Whatever. You said you needed something. For a book?
I just need the ability to have ink. Pen would be best. I need ways to write, to draw, to have access to something.
And in that moment, you guys are standing there. You look over, just happen to, and you do see Gordon wheeled out, like off the sidewalk in the snow, and you can see him staring out over the fence, and you visibly can see him crying as he is sitting in this chair staring out over the fence. And you see him begin to push himself up with his arms to standing position. And you see him stumble forward and fall into the snow with his legs stitched together. Bill and Mike make their way out the door and begin to approach him as he is, for the first time since having received his treatment, begins screaming, and you can see him pulling at his legs. Blood begins to stain the snow as he begins to writhe and pull himself forward as best he can, trying to crawl towards the fence before Bill and Mike pick him up as the seams begin to bust They drag him inside. And they leave the chair and a stain of blood across the snow.
They
As
leave
the other patients, yep, the wheelchair is left, and the other patients are like, you know, there's a couple that have like the basketball and are like kind of staring up under the goal. There's like one sitting in a swing.
Is the wheelchair on the wheels the spokes? Are they like the really thin ones that come on some wheelchairs, or like the big rounded full
The
ones?
big rounded, like, yeah, heavy, yeah.
So, Teddy, what's the rest of the day look like? What happens? This is recreation, then what?
We go
Group
back.
meetings.
Yeah, group meetings, and then after group meetings is, I believe, dinner, and then after dinner we have a little bit more rec time inside, and then we go to bed. I remembered. I didn't even look at you that entire time. That's how focused I was.
Good job.
Okay. All right. We need some information.
It is not long, by the way, before the doors open and Nora is standing at the door. So as you are having this conversation, people are beginning to come back to the inside of the building.
I can try to ask. I mean, I don't really. No one's really asked me to ask questions about the third floor before. But do we have time? Like, are we allowed to go back to our rooms and like grab stuff throughout the day, or is it like we're literally herded into an area and then?
During recreation time, you're allowed to kind of like, the recreation room is open and you're allowed to go in there. You're also allowed to stay in your rooms during that time or kind of go back and forth. It's more of, the second floor is fairly low security. Like, you guys kind of have a decent renovate. Like, you're to the point where they trust you relatively enough to have some autonomy. The theory is that third floor, you have no autonomy and you are not allowed to be unsupervised ever. So you do have a little bit of time. And Tyson, as they're having this conversation, you do know that, again, when you were going to your one-on-one session with, I believe it was Dr. I think that was Andrews.
Yes.
Yes. You did take note of the clerical station.
Which is on the first floor, because our rec room
it's on the second floor, between the recreation room and then the doctor's office is on the other side. So you do know where there is clerical information.
So real quick, just so I know, there's rec room, our rooms, are some treatment rooms, doctor's office, and in the midst between the doctor's room and the cleric and the rec is clerical stuff.
Yeah. So basically and as you guys are coming like and having
and
this
the medical
conversation,
supplies.
Yes, the medical supply cabinet as well. So you guys are herded. You can, again, kind of briefly see through some of the 2-inch thick plexiglass windows. You can see the main reception area. You can see the ballroom reception. You can see Nurse Nora coming out of her apartment and approaching the elevator to meet you all. So you enter into the elevator, go up to the second floor, come out of the elevator, and as you come out of this elevator, you immediately see to your right, you see the large steel plexiglass doors that lead to the treatment areas. As you look to your left, on the right side of the hallway, there are the 2 group meeting rooms, and then the doctor's office is to your left. You continue in further, that is the clerical and medical cabinets. And then the next area is your rooms and then the recreation hall. So you guys are brought to the second floor. Elevator door opens. Yes.
Real quick, before we left the grounds, would I have had enough time to run over just to see if any of the stitches are still on the ground?
Yes. Like as you're walking by, there's one strand that is
okay.
like 2
I want
inches
to take
long.
it. I'll just pocket it and then keep going.
Okay. Does anybody watch Sylas as he's stopping by the blood pile, or are you guys just
Tyson will be crumbling up some of the I think it was cornbread that or the biscuit from earlier, which is still in my pocket.
Okay. You guys make it up to the elevator door opens, step out, and they begin to funnel you guys into the 2 group session rooms. Kind of 50-50. You do not see Elenora anywhere. You 3 do happen to be herded into. It's kind of like a first come, first serve.
I was going to say I would have tried to kind of grab the 2 of them and shuffle them with me. Yeah.
And so you guys, I will, in that situation then, Teddy, you know that each doctor leads a group session, and that Dr. Andrews is to the left and Dr. Thurman is to the right. Which group session do you lead them to?
Oculus, choose for me.
Not mine, not mine, not mine.
That was
Please
a
mine,
16.
please mine.
That was a 16, so that's an even number. So it was Ronan's.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Sorry, Ronan was even. Ronan was even.
So, standing at the doorway, holding it open, of course, is the very tall, slender, ponytail, staunch, abnormally thin, and yet inhumanly bulbous arms. Kind of lumpy, almost like the Popeye arms, if you're that person. You notice their calves are similar. They almost in many ways seem kind of the polar opposite to Dr. Andrews in figure. They hold the door open with abnormally skinny stalk of a body, glaring daggers at Sylas, holding a pen that has remnants of bloodstain on it. As you are ushered in, take your seats. Yes. What order are you sitting in?
What's the layout of the sitting arrangement? Is it like circular
it's
or
like a semicircular? So it's like there are the 2 ends, and then surrounding, of course, the singular chair.
I'm 100% on the end closest to the door.
Okay. Are you sitting next to him, Teddy and Tyson?
I'm gonna sit next to Sylas, and I'm just gonna kind of wrap my arm underneath his and like just hold it across my chest, not like super hard, but like comfortably, and just be like, "Oh, he's the best doctor here. He's my favorite."
Okay.
Tyson actually is going to try and sit on the opposite end of the semicircle.
Okay. So you're both basically on opposite sides of the door. You can basically make eye contact with each other as well during this, so by the way, just so you're aware. So Dr. Thurman closes the door quietly, calmly, walks over to their chair, sits in the very squeaky chair, leans back, squeak, crosses their legs, holds up their clipboard, looks around the room, lands on Sylas. Yes. Well, you'll all recognize the new face. Sylas
Doc.
is our new addict. It's just
Not
as
new
bad as
for
many.
me.
Since you feel like talking, Mr. Black, why don't you tell us why you're here? Please tell everybody why you're here.
Sure. My name's Sylas, and I am here based on a court order.
Why?
Because there was a situation that I found myself in and got blamed for stuff that I did not do.
The first step to making a recovery, Sylas, is honesty. You're never going to get any better until you quit bullshitting all of these honest, good people. You know that? Mr. Sylas tried to take drugs off my table today. That's who Sylas is. Shame. Something you should internalize, Sylas. You could do well to learn to be ashamed. Right, Teddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Only when you truly mean it, though.
Penance. Repentance. Does anyone else want to share their true story of why they're here? Makes their way around. Eventually, a familiar face to Tyson, a slender woman, kind of holds herself with very good posture, looks completely to be a mess, stands up. Well, once I was actually quite an attractive woman. And I was screwed over by my husband at the time. And I just couldn't handle that. I lost everything, including my son. She turns and glares at Tyson a little bit. Well, so I killed him. Murdered him. Yes, Sylas.
I knew you.
Excuse me. What on earth makes you think I would associate with somebody with
no.
tattoos?
Sure, yeah.
Rude.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Rude.
Sorry.
Yes. I see why you're here. He'll be here for a long time. And she plops back in her seat and is like fake smoking a cigarette.
Yeah. Lean over to Teddy. I know her.
I do too.
Okay, perfect. Great.
do.
This is lovely.
Of course, at that time, the doctor is like looking over. Tyson, it's been a while since I've seen you in my office. Looks like you got the luck of the draw and have had Andrews.
Yeah, it's one way to put it.
How have you been?
I've been wonderful. How about you?
Better and better. Switch the legs that are crossed. I will allow each of you to roll for observe a situation, just because I would like to see what all you pick up on in this room. If you would like to.
Could I use my enhanced awareness?
I will allow that.
Does this include in seeing what Dr. Thurman, right? Thurman's like, because if so, I'd rather use read a person. The rest of the room can be ignored.
Oh, well, I will leave it to you then. Do you want to read Thurman or look at the... So I will either allow you to read this person as in their emotional, like what vibes they're giving off, or I will let you look at what the physical situation is.
Yeah, I have no connection to the physical situation, so I'm going to read a person.
Okay. Sylas?
With my -2, that's a 9.
9. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I'm just staring at what's her name.
Yeah, you get to ask one question.
Okay. Can I tell trying to think how to word this. Is this the same person, or is it just a representation? Do I get the feeling that it's the exact same person that I know from Jack's vision or memories, or is it just a representation that I'm experiencing the same entity? Does that make sense?
I will
Like,
say,
is it actually the same person, or is it just me projecting onto that person? Oh, I know you.
you are convinced that this is the same person, based upon your role. You. It looks like her, sounds like her, acts like her, for sure. Teddy.
Teddy got a 16 on his enhanced awareness.
Okay. Then do your thing.
It says I can discern clear details regarding the location.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of
So,
the illusion.
Okay. So as you are staring, you begin to notice that there's like a strange film on some of the windows that you hadn't quite noticed before. There are 3 small gray fingers that you catch in the corner of one of those windows that drag across, smudging the film on the outside of the building before disappearing. And it almost catches you for a second because you're staring at this, but as Dr. Thurman switches legs, you notice a small red thread poking out from the bottom of their pant leg. Only because you happen to be looking in the correct direction.
So I'm gonna. Can I direct Sylas kind of to it? Like, not
Yeah,
necessarily like not straight up point, but like do the eye over to Tyson and then like kind of like look over at Sylas and give him just like, hey.
Yes, you can definitely turn Sylas's attention. Tyson.
That's an 18 for my read of person.
Okay.
First,
So you get the 2.
and because I'm intuitive, I get 3.
Ooh.
First, I want to know exactly how Dr. Thurman is feeling right now in sincerity.
Thurman seems to be enthralled with something. He's enjoying embarrassing someone. Seems to be drawing pleasure from. They're like daggers coming out of his mouth. And he enjoys it. Enjoyment.
I would like to determine what Dr. Thurman is about to do since this whole leg switch is happening.
You know, even just from dealing with Thurman, that leg switch means he's growing impatient. And you know that he's about to become a little more enraged, as he has a tendency to do. And when that happens, usually people get hurt.
And he does that even in our group sessions?
Yep. Thurman is one that tends to be more radical.
Then my third question is, how could I get him to become more peaceful, satiated, so he doesn't burst out?
You know that he enjoys to hear people embarrass themselves and basically out themselves. You know that he loves to hear people be honest. The quote-unquote breakthrough. Similar to Andrew's, but malicious. They seem in many ways opposites to each other.
Honestly, I'm not actually doing that great, Doc.
Elaborate.
I keep having some nightmares from time to time. Things that don't make sense, and I think it's because of the stories I keep hearing from other people. It reminds me of when Scarlett mentioned her husband and her son. It reminds me of my dad, or I guess the lack of memory of it. and it just gets harder to deal with. And
Are you wetting the bed again, Tyson?
yeah,
How embarrassing for you.
yeah, I can't help it.
Oh, Tyson. You know, Sylas, this is the kind of honesty you could benefit from. Tyson is putting himself out there, trying to get better, exploring.
Makes you feeling better. I will honestly piss in your bed.
Takes out his clipboard, begins to take notes. In that time, Sylas, you do see Teddy kind of motion you to the leg. Tyson, you see Teddy make eye contact with you and look directly downward. And you also see that same red thread that you had previously witnessed hanging from Dr. Andrews. But Sylas, as you are staring down at his leg, Ruby stands up and lunges at you, screaming, like nails bared. And I need you to either, what does Sylas do in that moment? As
I'm definitely going to try to move.
Okay, then go ahead and avoid.
Okay, I got a question. Do I have to remove one from that as well? Is it every roll?
Everything.
That's a 9.
So in that moment, you go to like dodge out of the way, but Teddy has a hold of your arm, and you go to move, and you are pulled, and she comes and lands and just scratches across your neck and down your chest. You don't take any real harm per se by this. This is very minor scratch. And as she goes to kind of like continue trying to claw at you, Teddy, as this is happening, how do you respond in this situation?
Oh, I'm sorry. I like completely zoned out, so I feel like no. I was looking at something. Teddy has his arm already kind of like, and it's kind of buddied up with him. So I feel like he's gonna just try to pull him kind of back over to like let her like just dive across him. Yeah.
Okay. So like as this is happening, you kind of go to pull, and immediately you see Bill come running in and just grab her by her hair and like yank her back and off and like slam her to the ground. All the while, the doctor, clipboard in hand, smiling as they drag her out.
Is
Tyson.
anyone else responding in the room to the circumstances?
There is a gentleman sitting next to you, completely like knees to chest, just like staring off to the left, not focusing on anything. There are 3 other individuals like kind of back in their chair, almost like afraid to get out of their chairs. And like then there's another woman that is just sitting there blankly, but nobody seems to be doing anything to help Ruby nor Sylas.
Yep, I'm gonna remain seated.
Okay. They pull
Stay
her
safe.
out. They pull her out. You see Mike come running up. As these, because they're plexiglass. It's a little distorted, but not much. You can still see enough through this. The door's closed. You can hear some yelling as Mike comes running from down the hall. You definitely see like a shove as he shoves Bill. You can see there's definitely a dispute between the two as Mike picks up the very frail little woman and like is yelling at Bill and takes her down the hallway towards the treatment rooms.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a doctor. No offense to you, but like a medical doctor.
The doctor turns and smiles. You will.
Okay.
And he sits back and the doors open as he sits back blankly. Nurse Nora opens the door. Yes, Sylas, I heard you might need medical attention.
So, and here I am trying to get better, and instead I'm getting assaulted.
Oh, don't be so harsh. It's all part of the treatment.
Sure.
Right this way, to the elevator, Sylas.
As I'm walking, I'll be like, I probably wouldn't be bleeding as bad if my blood wasn't so thin from earlier. As I keep walking.
Teddy, you see them leading Sylas not to the treatment rooms, but to the elevator.
Would I know if this sort of activity warranted a first or third?
It's a tough call. You know that there is the general practitioner's office on the first floor.
Mm-hmm.
So your hope, as you watch and they walk to the elevator, Nora pushes the down button.
I probably didn't even realize.
And they go into the elevator. With that, Dr. Thurman looks around the room. I believe that's been another breakthrough session, if I don't say so myself. Any last sharing moments between all of you? No? Okay. You're free to go. Go enjoy recreation and dinner. And he gets up and just walks out. Opens the door, holds it, and motions for you all to leave.
As he gets up to walk towards the door,
He would probably get within about 2 feet of you.
now we'll carry on.
I will say that the red thread that you noticed earlier, Teddy, you do notice distinctly hanging out from that left leg.
Does it like it just barely, like, it doesn't touch the floor or anything?
No,
It's
it's like just
a piece
enough-
of thread.
But with his dark clothing, it sticks out is the only reason you notice it.
I think before I leave, the one thing I want to do is I want to go to the window and
Mhm.
look where those finger marks were. Like, just kind of peer outside.
Okay.
I
So-
didn't like that at all.
Sorry, it makes me happy. So you walk to the window kind of casually, and glance downward. In the courtyard below, sitting on one of the swings, with your enhanced awareness, I'll continue that roll for this. There is a childlike figure. Solid gray skin, dark black eyes peering up at you, swinging. Bald, no hair, bony, kind of a very round, distended stomach. You notice it just sitting there swinging and looking up at you.
I'll just turn and walk away.
Tyson would like to trip and fall over
Okay.
a chair.
Yes.
Just because it's been too long, or
Did you miss the furniture? What's
I'd like to fall at Dr. Thurman's feet.
Okay, go ahead and roll reflexes, just in general, just to see whether your fall remains intentional.
Right. That's a. What's my reflexes? Do I add anything to? No. Oh, I do. So that'll be 16.
16, okay. So, yeah. I mean, you are very in control in this moment. So, what do you do?
I'd like to fall towards his feet and pinch that red thread, whatever thread's hanging out of his pant leg.
Mm-hmm. You grip it.
And as I'm trying to get up, I'm going to pull while turning away using another chair to get up.
While turning away.
Yeah, so I'm going to grip, and as I kind of get up, turn so it's not obvious I'm pulling standing up. Just to see what happens as I pull.
Okay. So you pull and you hear up. And you see the doctor turn, and his arm almost elongates as he swipes and backhands at you.
I'm going to. I feel like the logical thing would be to endure.
Okay.
So he doesn't think that I was preparing for this. Yeah, I'm going to endure.
Okay.
With the intention of being hit, because I want him to believe that this was all an accidental circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
Which is going to suck. I have like no fortitude. It's a 10. Okay.
It's a 10?
It's a 10.
Okay. Yeah, you are going to pull yourself up as his hand catches you like at the back side of your head, and you stumble again. Your finger slips from the thread as it is now dangling about a foot from his pant leg, and he quickly just books it across the hall to his office and is cursing under his breath, and the door slams behind him. Is a small trail of cotton, wool-like filling.
So I thought I'd like to pocket as much of that as I can before. Actually, Mike left already. Bill's not nearby, right? Right? Is Bill was his name, the other guy?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to use this opportunity, knowing that Nora already took Sylas, Mike and Bill are away, to grab as much of that cotton as I can and pocket it.
Okay.
But yeah, evenly, so my pockets don't look all fat for no reason.
Yeah, Teddy, you just witness him picking up cotton. You don't even, you hear the sound and you turn as you're going and all of this is happening, and you're just seeing him pick up this cotton. You see the doctor run and slam the door. You do know, you look down the hallway, the other group is still in session. They don't even seem to be stirring from anything. You do know Bill and Mike are gone. You know that Nurse Nora is also gone. So you're currently walking, everybody is making their way down the hallway to the recreation room.
Tyson, what are you doing?
We don't have time. I got to do this quickly. And I'm assuming Doctor also dropped his pen?
Yes.
And or clipboard?
Yeah, it's all, yeah.
I'm going to leave the clipboard, but take the pen.
Okay.
Do you want somewhere to hide then?
If you can take the pen. For the time being.
And I start opening up fruit snacks and just downing them. Like you can put the cotton in here and they won't.
And I'm going to hand over. Get them all packed up. Save them for now. And I'm going to make my way over to... I need to get to that medicine cabinet, which is by the clerical space, yeah?
Yes. There are 2 admins in there if you go. Like, they are sitting there. There are 2 admins.
Those 2 admins.
One is Mimi.
Mimi is typically nice to me, or no?
Yeah, it's Mimi. It's the same Mimi.
I'm going to head over there immediately. Mm-hmm. Since I have to go to the admin desk first, and I'm going to try to go straight to Mimi.
Okay.
Hey, Mimi. Sorry. I just had a question for clarification. My pills. I wanted to make sure I get the right ones. I've been getting the M, the P, and the S, right? Is that what I'm supposed to be getting? I was told those have meanings, but someone told me they have multiple ones. Can you let me know what those letters mean to make sure I'm getting the right one and what color they're supposed to be?
Well, you don't remember your diagnosis?
I
don't. I've been
Well,
doing a lot of
it's-
breakthroughs, so.
Well, it says, and she just pulls out this chart, and it literally has like 10 letters listed. Well, you see the M on your prescription, specifically for you, is melancholia, because you know when you're just sad all the time.
Yeah.
What did you say your other? I
P
don't
and
have,
S.
oh the S, as she kind of like twitches her fingers a little bit, and like you can tell she's making some distance as she's reading the list. That's sadistic personality disorder.
That's
From the boat.
the
Tyson.
boat. The boat.
You took your medication, right? And you can tell she's like putting more distance.
I did. I'd always take them because if
Those
I
are
want
the
to get
green
better,
ones. Those are the dark green ones.
I take the ones they give me in the packs every time they give me food. But is it okay? I want to know the other ones too, just so. I was told by the doctor that the more I learn, the easier it is to forget bad things. So if I can know,
there's a lot. Which one are you specifically?
well, I just
The P is your psychosis. It's all of your illusions and your bad dreams and your just detachment, and I can't tell you what the other patients have, Tyson.
I'm sorry. I got over eager. They want me to learn, so I want to learn everything I can. I was actually wondering if you'd be willing to help me get better. I want to work, but I'd like to work with you here in the paperwork. And I remember doing paperwork used to make me happy, healthy.
I'll have to run that by Nora.
Of course, but I know if you vouch for me, maybe I can work instead for my rec time.
I might be able to arrange that. I mean, you've been really good. I know Nora doesn't seem to like you very much, but you've been really sweet to me.
I'm trying to be better. I just want something to help distract me, and rec time doesn't give me anything to be distracted. And I'll be good if I get to work with you.
Okay, well, I will ask her when she comes back with Sylas. You should go get yourself some dinner in your next round.
Of course, yeah.
Teddy,
Mimi,
make sure
thank
he
you.
takes his pills.
Always, yes.
Thank you, Teddy.
And then after I'd collected all the cotton, before I had done that, I was gonna dip into my room and grab my pen, and then.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
So Sylas, Nora pushes the button leading down. The elevator goes up.
Okay.
And you can hear a ding as you see a 3. It continues up. And it stops. The elevator opens, revealing a small office almost. There's a sewing machine on one side with a large red spool atop. And it looks like a general clerical desk. It just seems kind of out of place. You look out the windows and it's sunny. The room itself smells like kind of like mothballs, almost mustier in a way. And Nora takes you by the arm, leads you in, and sits you in a chair next to the sewing machine and removes the red spool. Grabs a curved needle. How deep is it?
It's not too bad.
As
Definitely.
she tilts your head to one side. I'm not sure. It looks pretty deep as she takes her thumb with her very long, sharp red nails and runs it down one of the cuts, and you can feel it opening more.
Okay. Just instinctually, I'm going to push her away. Like,
Yeah. Go ahead and just roll to, that would be whatever. Yeah, go ahead and roll your stuff.
I guess engage in combat.
Yeah, that would probably be a violence roll. I think would be the most.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's 5. That's
5. You go to push this spindly woman, and
Sure.
she does not budge. She's exceptionally strong. You do take one just minor harm from this situation. I'll have to stitch that up for you.
Not with. Is that. What is that? What is this? I saw that on a dude's legs.
This is just medical thread. It looks like wool thread. It's not.
I mean, no offense, nurse,
Are
but
you
I've been around.
my knowledge? As the nail digs just a little deeper into the cut.
No. I'm just saying that I also have been around a lot of medical equipment in my life, needles and such, and that is not what we would use to stitch somebody.
We do here at Bradford, and we use only the best methods. Stitch.
Yeah. Okay.
And just makes her way down quickly. Tightens. Seems to. And as she does that, have you noticed that? And as she's like, has the shirt pulled back, you do see a red mark on your back. She even looks perplexed. What have you done to yourself?
I have no idea.
She pulls the shirt back, and it appears to be like a slash mark on your back. It's almost bruised.
Like older?
It appears fairly fresh, like within the last 24 hours.
Okay, just older than this.
Yes.
Not the same event.
Nope.
I don't know. I kind of woke up in a stupor, so hard telling what happened last night.
And she kind of like makes this knowing face and looks away and becomes angry, ties off the stitches. Listen here, Sylas. This is my institute. The doctors may think they have the run. They don't. Don't push me. I see you pushing. If you will just play along, you'll be fine.
Just so we're clear, I am fully aware that there's a lot more going on here.
And what exactly do you think is going on here?
Oh, you know, I'm just a fucking idiot. How could I know? But, I know.
Your hand falls off.
My hand falls off?
It just falls off clean.
Any pain?
Followed by the flesh on your arm. Clean, just sloughs and falls to where your tattoo is laid out before you on the ground. She stands up, puts her nails under her chin, rips back, and stands before you is a pale, cloth-like skinned woman with red thread stitching all through here, tufts of would be like wool or cotton flung back into almost a hairstyle. Her eyes have red stitching all through here. Her whole front, as the facade comes and falls to the ground, there are stitches across her chest. Her fingers are needles. There are stitches down her front. And her flesh almost makes kind of like a dress of skin. As the stitched smile. What exactly do you think is going on?
I fucking bolt towards the elevator.
You bolt towards the elevator, and as you bolt, the doors are like almost like black glass French doors. You're trying to open them and they are locked, and as you look around, you are in a seamstress shop. There are dolls hanging, blank mannequins, bags of cotton, rolls of linen, and your arm and your hand are still. And as you go to run and you're pulling on that door, your left leg gives way and you fall back, and your leg is lying in front of you. You're not bleeding.
Sure.
You are looking up as she is staring down over you. Go ahead and roll, keep it together, because
Sure.
I mean, as you're falling apart,
literally,
Tyson, this dinner is really good.
right? We're eating dinner. Meanwhile, Mr. Potato Head is up in the seamstress office.
Which one is? Oh, there it is.
Willpower.
Oh, come on.
I love that.
the show's broken. I don't know what to
With
tell
a
you.
-1, that's a 3.
Oh,
Rolled a 4 and a
sweetie.
1, or with a 3 and a 1.
All right. This is -4 stability.
Okie dokie.
She just smiles over you. Now, as you kind of go almost catatonic, all you can do, you go to scream and nothing comes out. Your lungs just do not work. You can hear your heartbeat. Only before you realize, as you look up, it is in her hand. As she is staring down at you. This is mine for now. You need to learn to play the game, Sylas. This is my game. She walks gracefully over to her shelf where you can see a collection of various organs, limbs, places it in a jar, seals it, sets it on the shelf, comes back to hover over you. Would you like me to fix all of this? Yeah, I thought so. Play the game. It's my game. And she just quickly mends and your leg is back. You see no line. There's a faint, like, hair-like scar from where it was cleanly removed. Your tattoo returns. She takes your hand, kind of like rubs it across your face, and reattaches. Don't stir the pot. Be like my sweet daddy. Yes?
Sure. Yeah.
I'll give you this back if you can do that for me. Play the game, Sylas. Check, by the way. As
Noted.
she leans you to the elevator door, Her facade almost instantaneously reappears. Back in the elevator, quiet. The elevator music just kind of
Just
peppy.
staring at my feet.
Yep. Down, you see the two doors open. Tyson and Teddy, after sitting there, you've gotten your trays, you're eating. Sylas is led in by Nora with a blank look on his face. Nora hands you a packet of pills, Sylas. Do you take your medication?
Is it mine? Like, does it have PAM on it?
Mm-hmm.
Is she just standing there?
Yep. And she's looking at you. Her head begins to tilt just slightly as you can see her kind of stuff a red thread back inside of her eye.
I'll open the packet. Check. And I'll take them.
Okay. You do regain
Thank
your
God.
stability back
Literally
to
at
its
unhinged.
baseline. Yeah, I know. Goes back to your baseline. She pats you on the back, makes her way to her desk and sits down. Tyson and Teddy, you do see this. You do not see, you see her motion, like her back is turned to you, so you just see her motion at her eye briefly as Sylas, you.
Do I still have the red stitches here?
Yes.
Okay. I will walk over to them.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Yeah. We need to talk.
Agreed.
They patched you up nicely, I see. That string looks familiar.
Yeah, it seems to be a trademark.
Teehee patched up.
Here, and I'll take some of my tea that I had for dinner and just slide it over to Sylas.
Are we given a bread-like part of our meal?
Yes. It's consistent.
I'm gonna pocket that as well.
Okay. Do you take your medication?
I do my usual,
Okay.
where I pretend to take it, and then pocket it in different parts of my pockets.
Okay. Teddy?
So Logan has thought about this for about a good 10 minutes now. Teddy's gonna open up one of his few remaining gummy packets as simultaneously as he opens his pill packets and let them scatter and spill together. And then he's going to take the pills and put it into the gummy packet.
Okay.
And then pretend like he's picking up like the gummies that are the same colors of the pills. He'll take the 3, put them in his mouth, and take some water with it.
Okay.
I already hate this.
Would I pick up on this? This seems a little some shady shit.
I think by that point, yeah, you would notice. But you do feel very calm. You do notice Sylas outside that it's a little sunny, a little less snowy.
Do we have dinner and then more rec time? Is that true or is that sleep? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So.
And you technically would be allowed to go. I mean, y'all would be allowed to leave the rec room a little bit. Yeah, y'all could go to rooms. You have the lay of things.
Tyson, I know you have stuff going on, but maybe we should talk during rec time.
Yeah, that'd be ideal.
Teddy, you seem to know a lot about what's going on here, but I don't know how deep that knowledge goes. Would you like to learn more?
see how I feel after a couple hours without my pills.
You'll feel fine, I think. And then I'm going to stand up and I'm going to go to the window.
Okay.
So, this will be a first. How many days? How many years have I been taking pills for? That's
All
a
of them.
question. That's all. I mean, I know
All
all.
of them.
I
How
know
old are
all
you?
of them, but
I would say probably since you were a kid
okay.
and had that experience.
Okay. Oh wow, that's a long time.
Oh yeah.
I just want to see at the the grounds and everything. Now that I have a little bit of clarity and or whatever, just see if everything looks the same.
Yeah. You can see some cars going down the road. You see a couple of people leaving the building, going to their car, leaving the parking lot. Looks like
Are
the
these
snow's
cars
kind
that
of
I'm
melting.
familiar with, like of an era that I am familiar with?
Yes, these are
All right.
cars that you are familiar with. These are not cars that Jack would have been familiar with.
Right. Okay. Then I am going to completely uneventfully eat my meal.
Okay. So you guys eat your meal, do or don't take your medication, and rec time begins. At about this point, it's about 7 o'clock. You know you have about an hour to an hour and a half of rec time, and lights are out at 9.
Teddy, do you know a place where, I mean, obviously there's people always here, but is there a quieter place that we could all just sort of go and sit and talk?
We can go to one of the rooms. It's I don't know. That's kind of suspicious, but it's not uncommon for people to go to the rooms.
And Teddy, I mean, you and Sylas do share a room now, and it is actually the furthest one. The way that the building is shaped, y'all are actually down to the farthest point of one of the. It's kind of a prime room, right? Like it has 2 windows instead of a 1. As far as the setup goes.
Corner office.
Open floor plan. You know.
Yeah, you know.
No kitchenette.
You guys do actually have a little couch in your space.
What? We got a futon? No way.
All right, so just like a little louder than what would be normal, I'll say, sure, let's go check out the new room. I'm excited. I haven't seen it yet. Tyson, you want to go with us?
Yeah, sounds good.
And then just start off in that direction.
You guys make your way past a couple of rooms. You notice Eleonora's door is locked, and that the sliding glass and like the tray dispensary are closed.
Right.
I want to make a middle note of where it is because I didn't actually know that before then.
Yeah.
Can I-
Tyson's is right next door. You see like a very stained mattress because it's supposed to look like something, yeah, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Can I open up the slide just a tiny bit to peek inside and see?
You go to open and it doesn't budge.
Keep following them.
You make your way.
When we
There's
get
your
there, I'm
room.
like, wow. Close the door.
Double bunk bed, metal frame, green sheets, white walls, green and white tile, toilet, sink, inch thick plexiglass mirror, barred windows, green couch.
This actually is kind of nice. All
Compared
things
to the one you came
considered,
out
a
of.
senior.
Yeah.
What happens when you're the favorite and you
Sure.
have lived here the longest and are just like the most well-behaved person here,
Yeah.
except for today, of course.
I'll get to that actually. Your name came up with Nora. I'll get to it. Tyson.
Yeah.
And real quick before I open my mouth again, I'm just going to just hit every corner with my eyes just to make sure there's no cameras that I can see. Okay. So I know this is strange, but like, I know you know what's going on a little bit more than everybody else. And I know that you know about the mansion. it's hard to explain. Like I was there. Like I know you and Jack were there, and you looked up to him, and he was your favorite person ever, and you loved him a lot. You basically said so every day. I heard. Um,
Well,
but
interesting recount of the events.
Just from Jack's perspective.
Yeah.
it's his memory, so that's how he remembers it. But
AKA Ronan.
it is something. I have no idea what's going on, if I'm being completely honest. This is all new to me. I did not I know what happened, but I did not experience that. But I've experienced this. But I don't only think that they're connected. Like I think that they're more than connected. And that's true because you're here. Eleanor's here. I don't know where Jack is, but his memories are here. That can't be a coincidence.
It's not. Far from it. I'm not.
Do you remember leaving here and going to the mansion? Do you remember? Like, I don't even know how it works. Like, I saw Mimi downstairs. I literally witnessed her get her head chopped off as someone else.
It's. I wish I could actually explain how it works or what is going on. But what happened there, what's happening here, both have, will, and has never occurred. What we're experiencing now is as real as that was. However, for you, this is all there was. For that's all that it was for Jack. For me, for Elenora, both events were true. However, this place is more real to me.
That makes sense. I was thinking about it before what's her name attacked me, who was also, I mean, to me, like, I don't understand. Like, it's almost like they're playing different roles now. And that makes me wonder if I am actually Jack, and now I'm just playing a different role, and I also have a different body.
What I can tell you is the rules of the mansion are the same as they are here. Something is in charge orchestrating something. Problem is, we couldn't solve the mansion either. And now
that
we're
leads
here.
me to my next point. Rules of the game. So I just recount Nora's story. The Nora stuff.
Yeah, the Nora stuff.
Yeah.
You guys get this full story.
In the mansion, the rules were to follow the funeral, the reading of the will, but it was leading to something. There was a destination at the end, presumably.
Right.
So there's a goal here, an outcome that is being sought after.
But again, it's the same situation, right? Because it's counterintuitive because they're playing a game where their goal is whatever it is, and our goal is just to survive and figure out the truth.
Difference is, though, when we were invited to the mansion, we were there under the pretense of what was real. Here, it's different. We wanted to find the truth for various reasons. This time, I don't think we need the truth, because the truth is irrelevant.
It is what it is.
What we need is for it to stop.
Right. So that's the goal. That's our game.
Teddy, the whole time you were hearing this conversation, and you're trying to follow.
He was 3 words in. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, the thing that catches your attention is the Nora story.
Yeah.
And you begin to have flashbacks as your medication is wearing off. You recount seeing a similar figure that day, standing next to the doctor. You recount just seeing that figure approaching you before Nurse Nora took you from that experience. And that was when you started your medication.
So yeah. Nurse Nora saved me upstairs. But the thing you're describing, Silas, sounds like a lot. I still haven't. I don't know how to.
While that's happening,
it happened. I've seen what you're describing.
Let me tell you something. So I've been around a lot of drugs my entire life, and they are good at what they do. And what they do is help you forget things. But that's a good thing and a bad thing depending on who uses them and how. And I don't think she has the best intentions with the way that she's making you take the pills.
I mean, help me forget what was upstairs. And like as it's starting to flood back, he just kind of like, you can see like as he's starting to get snippets, he is getting a little twitchy. I think now that I'm older, I can process it a little bit better, especially with some of the other things I've seen around here. But
right,
as a kid,
I know you have no baseline of normal, but this ain't it.
I mean, I was normal before I started medications. I think. I don't think I was until I went up to the 3rd floor. I think it was.
Wait, hold on. So you started taking medication after you went to the 3rd floor?
I think so. Yeah.
Because you saw something.
Because I saw exactly what you described. I saw that, and I saw the big 2-headed thing that I drew outside, and
yeah.
Hey, it dawns on you, by the way. Those eyes, the doctor's eyes. That's why Eleonora's eyes look so familiar. She has the same eyes.
Tyson, while Teddy was talking, will be taking the book given by Dr. Andrews, the pen taken by Dr. Thurman, and I will be writing ritual runes into one of the pages of the book.
Okay.
Because I would like to try and reach out to my good old pal, the entity, in the hopes that I can just ask, once again, another question.
Okay.
I seem to only be able to get one goddamn question each time I summon this thing.
Which specific ability?
It is bound.
Bound? Okay.
I technically get 3 uses if I roll well enough, but I will say it's soul, which is a good thing. That's 13 plus 3, 16 for bound.
Okay. Do your thing.
So with the runes drawn into the pages of the page of the book, I will then reach out. I just need clarity. Is this realm, place, asylum, and or Nora that runs it an affiliate, friend, and ally of yours? Or is this thing malicious towards me? You said you're trying to keep me safe from this, or is this supposed to keep me safe?
So are you saying this out loud? How are you? So as you're performing this ritual, what does it look like?
It literally just me drawing it and focusing all of the memories of the mansion, the boat, that face, and the hat. It's almost like that. The intention too is becoming more and more like when you're calling out for a parent that you need help from. But I'm also speaking this out loud because I have no idea how to do this. I just remember all the notes Hanson wrote and the notes that seem like I wrote, and just using. That's why I drew a bunch of them, hoping that one of them would trigger him listening.
Okay.
Sylas is going to lean over and just kind of whisper what's happening to Teddy.
Okay, good job.
Thank you.
So you're doing this, and in your mind, you begin to hear rolling thunder, pouring rain. Your eyes open, and you're sitting in what appears to be the same room. It's empty, no furniture, broken tile. It's raining outside, thunder. The floor is rocking. You find yourself on the yacht, sitting in front of you in this almost, you can hear now the rain, the wind, the thunder. There's wooden plank floor, but it's almost like you're under a spotlight. It's just black all the way around you. Occasionally the thunder and lightning boom and light up nothing. Void around you. Sitting in front of you in a chair. Just a single chair. Legs crossed, hand on a cane, dark suit, black hat, ashy gray skin. You can't really make out the faces. It's kind of, the light seems to be coming down and it's just the shadow.
Is there another chair for me to sit in by chance?
You look behind you and there is, very similar to the office.
Yep. It's making more sense each time. And Tyson will sit across.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what your goals are, whatever it is you want from me. But I understand that I have to play these games. But I don't know any of the rules. I'd at least like to know what I'm playing against, what I'm playing for, something. I understand that whatever happens, I'm going to lose in the end, because it's all part of a bigger game. But...
well, that's no fun. Now, who's to say you're gonna lose?
I feel like I'm playing a game against you and others. And I don't think I have a way to stop you.
Now, a game implies there are two sides, multiple players. What if you're not a player? What if you're a pawn? What if you're a plaything?
Then at least give me an objective to use. I'm tired of being thrown around without a purpose. If you want to use the pawn essence, even in the game of chess, the pawn knows to capture a piece to be taken or become the queen. I have no idea what my objective is here.
You seem to be doing all right. Come find me. Come find me. You can do it.
You are of literally never any help.
Now that's not true. Look at you. Doing all right. Summoning powers. Right? Eleanor's doing all right. Right? Is she? How's she doing?
Are you talking about the Elenora I know? Or the Nora that seems to be this facade running this place? Who I feel is very connected to my friend.
Oh, you mean Miss Nora. Very different. Now, more importantly, Tyson, you've been so caught up worried about yourself. How's your mama doing?
I used to wonder that.
There's a boom of thunder. And the vision begins to fade. As you are sitting there on the floor, Sylas and Teddy, you watch Tyson talking to a corner. And that's where we're going to take a quick break.
Worse.
So we're going to take a quick 5 to 10. Let Jay have a minor meltdown. And then we will be back to wrap up this episode. So we'll be back in about just a few. Let's mess up all my players. They're having breakdowns. So welcome back. So last we left off, chaotic visions, Elenora being carted off, Sylas having an unraveling experience. Teddy breaking the rules. Tyson talking to Eddie. And it not going his way. So you're in the room. Tyson, you come out of this vision. The hatch to the door slides open. And a key falls through the hole. Sylas, Tyson, and Teddy, as you look through the hatch, there is a familiar owl mask on the other side. To at least Tyson and Sylas. And they look at you and run. As the hatch closes again.
Tyson's immediate response is actually not to is going to acknowledge the key, but I'm gonna take the bread and biscuit in pieces that have been in my pocket and been sitting there in my sweat, and I'm going to the process is I'm going to chew it a bit to make it kind of like that doughiness, and put it in the book where the ink is, and then close it to force those pages to kind of seam together and make a sort of adhesive, so that The idea is so if people open the book, they'll just see it's stuck and won't look further into the writing.
Okay. Teddy and Sylas, you see this key.
Going to stand up and go get the key.
Okay,
Or
you
at
grab
least-
the key.
Okay, yeah. What's it look
Grab
like?
It looks like, I mean, the standard run-of-the-mill key. It looks like as the number, like the lettering on, it's like a building key, right? It's this big silver chunky boy. Based on the abbreviation on the key, it says second M. So with that, you can infer that it's the second floor master. And in that situation, you're thinking it probably opens the doors to your rooms.
What's the owl mask? I don't remember.
The owl mask was Kix.
Back at the mansion.
Okay. I thought you meant I would remember it from here. Okay.
No.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Right. Okay, cool.
Right.
Right. I know exactly what's going on.
Teddy,
Okay.
you see this key. You see all of these. What is Teddy doing?
I think, well, Teddy's still in the process of like realizing that the meds are what has kept everything at bay, and then he realizes the Dr. and Nora thing, or an Elenora thing, and doesn't know how to really process that either, because the doctor seemed evil and Elenora is really kind and sweet and
yeah, and it's specifically just the eyes.
Gotcha. But then when he sees the key and the owl face thing, he's like, that what I think it is.
Yeah, I think it's a master.
Okay.
I cannot. Oh no, it's way too late now. Never mind.
We're probably about 15 at this point. We're probably 15 to 20 minutes away from lights out.
Okay, we have to be in our rooms by 8.
Yeah, like
you
at
got to be
least
in your
15,
room.
20 minutes before. Yeah, 15 to 20 minutes before y'all are supposed to be in your room, and then they start prepping for lights out.
The
Teddy.
guy up. Yeah, go. Sorry.
Just do me a favor. So that you don't think the pills are like keeping you alive, correct? You're not taking them to live.
I don't think so. I mean, I
don't think so either.
More memory than anything would be my guess.
So if you don't take them for just tomorrow, you're not going to die.
Theoretically, yeah.
So don't take them tomorrow, just to see what happens.
Okay, but what do I do with them?
We'll figure that out.
Okay. Elenora and the doctor upstairs have the same eyes.
Okay. What?
I don't know what that means. You guys know Elenora better than I do, and I've met the doctor once. He was scary as shit. So,
Tyson, is that true? Do you think that too?
I don't know that Tyson has seen. You do know. I will say you don't know off the top of your head, Tyson. You do know that past and current doctors, etc., prolific people in the institute, there are actually a series of portraits, like pictures of them, up in the hallway where the doctor's offices are. That there's like a wall of like, in remembrance of, or thank you, blah blah, or best whatever, or current people. Like there's just like a wall of that. You do know
Maybe
that
we'll
is
have to look
down the hall. So you know that the doctor that is currently the primary has only been there for like maybe 3-4 years. But you don't know how long the one there before was, or the one when you came here, you know that they were kind of new. So like
In terms of Nora.
In terms of the primary care physician, Nora was here and has been here for a very long time.
And just confirming, Nora's not a doctor. She's more of a
She's a nurse. She is a head. She is chief nurse.
Got it. But she's also the head administrator?
She acts like that, yeah.
Do I
Like a
actually
director
know
of nursing or something.
Do I actually know who's in charge?
Nope. It just seems like Nora. What Nora says goes.
Okay.
So I think we may have free reign as long as we're clever about it.
We'd have to be very clever about it.
But also this means we have someone on the inside, right?
You guys might, if you recognize that the face. Nobody's ever done anything like that before, to my knowledge.
Yeah, I didn't, but my memory did.
It's about the game, but we could all be pawns. The fuck do you mean?
The fuck do you mean?
Yeah, I don't think you didn't explicitly.
No, I didn't. No, because I didn't know what to tell him. It's not that important because it doesn't help. I had a conversation with. We'll just call him Ghost Father. Anyway,
I saw a ghost today.
You saw a ghost?
Yeah,
Saw a
there
ghost
was
today.
Yeah, after the whole thing with your neck and the lady jumping at you, I had seen like hands by the window, so I went and looked outside, and down in the recess area there was a kid swinging.
Describe
Okay,
the
can
kid.
we all agree to stop burying the lead?
What? I don't know what that means.
Okay, one thing at a time.
I wasn't educated.
What did your ghost dad say? And why do I know exactly what you're talking about when you say that?
Okay. He's not very helpful, but I was trying to understand what the point of this place is or is supposed to be. All he could do is make a point that a game means people are competing. What if I'm a pawn to whatever's happening? But then, being the asshole he is, asks about my mom. Everyone keeps asking about my mom. I don't fucking know.
Nora kept saying to play the game, but she didn't specify whether we were. That's food for thought. Okay, what ghost baby? What are you talking about?
Yeah, there wasn't a baby. It was like a ghost kid. He was gray, like not a lot of hair or no hair. It was hard to tell. It was all different shades of gray. His eyes seemed like he didn't have any, like they were sunken and hollow. That there weren't any there. His stomach was like really bloated, like he like eaten a lot, but his body was really skinny.
Did I get a vision of the person that messed with the record player? Didn't I see something very similar to this?
Because I did too, because I remember seeing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it matches that visual.
Yeah, as he describes it, like probably in more like full body detail. You guys have only really
Right.
seen face and hands.
Okay. I'll explain that to him. I think that may be what was messing with the record player. Did it seem malicious?
I mean, I waved to it and it waved back to me.
Not towards you.
So that's a no.
Oh, wait, what?
Not towards you. Yeah, like it was not threatening to you.
Oh, yeah, no. So I think it was fine.
Smile.
I don't think so. No, I didn't see it. Like it didn't really have a facial expression. It was kind of just like eyes. That's really the only thing I saw that stood out to me.
The kid. The red thread. The cotton filling. The bulbous
Yeah, you might have to
nature.
tell Sylas about the cotton as well that came out of the.
Oh yeah, there was, and I
Oh, yeah,
pull
we
out.
all
I pull
share.
out all. I pull out
Yeah,
all
you just
the.
share
yeah, we
all
all
of
share.
the things.
Here, have some cotton. I hand him a fruit snack.
Ye-
Back.
Yeah. Just so we're all clear, like this was definitely in a seamstress facility on the very top.
Also, that cotton that he pulls
Wait,
out
what
is
do you
the
mean
same
very-
cotton filling that you saw in that office.
Yeah, they're definitely making dolls up there or something.
Dolls?
Or I don't know, maybe something more sinister.
Actually, uh, do you mind if I get that thread?
No, please take it.
And that's gonna take the pen and kind of like dismantle the pen a bit to try to surgically and as
I've been
gently
trying to figure
remove.
out how I'm gonna get it out anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, you currently, by the way, you have 0 harm. You are at, because your wound was treated, so you are at 0 harm currently.
Nope.
That's what
Nope.
change
Nope.
real quick.
Yep.
So you are going to remove this thread, holding the wound together.
Tyson, you removed the thread from that guy's leg, and that was kind of weird. How do I know something similar isn't going to happen to Sylas?
Okay. How about this? Because I think I've already threw up enough red flags for people. Let's give it a day or two. That'll do a couple things. It'll leave it in to show people, and then it'll also let the wound heal a bit. And then I will pull out the piece that I took from the ground. If you need something to look at or study, I do have some.
This actually might work, and I'm gonna take that thread. Technically, I have a few more uses of the bound. I know I can't call on Father because he's useless, but I would like to see, I don't know if I could see the true form of something using bound, focusing on this thread, if there's anything inherent about it. Basically trying to see through the illusion, I think, is the closest essence.
So you're using bound to look at the true nature of this thread.
Yeah.
Let me see what does bound say about this.
All it does is it lets me see the true form of a creature or location, disperse magic targeting me, or call on the entity. I've already used call on the entity, so
okay. I will. You okay. Yeah, you experience. So as you stare, you witness in your mind the vision that Sylas had previously seen.
That's good, man.
So I'm gonna just, where's my screen? I see that.
Yes.
I really should have studied more occult books.
It's fucked up, right?
Okay.
I told you. So the same feminine figure stitched together, just absolutely horrific. Yes.
As I guess I have a vision of it, and I'm like, this is what I see as I describe what I see to Sylas.
Are you muted or are you just mouthing?
That was right here.
Okay. The mansion wanted us to stay, wanted us to be stuck. She wants us here to stay, to stuck. She's disgusting. I hate it, but
She makes me happy.
I unpulled the thread that was coming out of the pant leg of Dr. Thurman, and the cotton came out. I think him, and if I remember, I think Dr. Andrews was also bulbous in weird ways, but like opposite style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about Mike and Bill? Do they seem bulbous?
Mike and Bill seemed, honestly, they seemed pretty chill. Like, you didn't get those vibes off of them.
So maybe that's our first order of action. We need to at least make mental note of everyone we think is a doll. Am I saying this out loud?
Yeah. And that gives me one last. I think Tyson would make this as a possible intuition guess, just to determine. In all the times that Tyson has had to be with either Dr. Thurman or Dr. Andrews, particularly when we've had a breakthrough, did their form change? Did they at any point seem more bulbous since Tyson first arrived? Like they've gained more padding, if you will.
I would say they've kind of remained fairly consistent. I don't know that you've necessarily seen them change from that.
Okay.
You've also not seen anybody pull on their threads before, so
This is also true.
Teddy, do you know of any other people that have this red thread on any part of their body? Have you ever seen this before?
not except for people you've seen treated.
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's people that have come down from the third floor, but
Right.
other than that, no. Oh, you know what? Question. Two-headed thing.
Mm-hmm.
Red thread.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and the big thing that's up on the third floor also has red thread.
Okay, now more questions. Did we at any point, Tyson and Jack, ever come across, perchance, any form of thread-like thing while in the mansion?
No.
Okay, just want to make sure. The only thing that
God.
seems to mimic in any circumstance has been the moth that came out of Sylas's ear. It's the only overlap we could definitively encounter besides Mimi and Scarlet.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
Gordon.
and you guys did see something with like a gray figure. I think a couple of you had seen hands previously, but you hadn't. The moths was like the most thing you.
And my moth was after I thought about it.
Yeah.
Like I intentionally went to look for a moth and one appeared.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know why. I don't know who. I don't even know what we're looking for at this point.
Do you want to just go upstairs then? I don't even know why the fuck I'm saying that, but
Honestly, at this point, the problem with the mansion is we took our time. I say we find a way to just investigate the third floor.
what happened in the mansion that made you thinking taking your time was a bad idea here? I guess that's my other question, because I'm still trying to.
Because things only progressively got worse, and
we played the game.
We used their rules. I think this time we need to find a way to make our own rules to the game.
The only time we found any leverage to help was when we chose to not follow the path to avoid the funeral moments. That's when we met Hanson's sister and other things. The truth is wherever we are not supposed to be. But when we get there, the risks also got much worse.
As soon as they start paying attention to us, we know we're headed in the right direction.
I mean, then I was only upstairs for like what, moments? Like,
yeah, it was under
and,
minute. Yeah, it was like minutes maybe.
That's when the doctor noticed me and put the creature, whatever it was, to come get me before Nurse Nora brought me back down here.
It's time to start wandering.
But we need Elenora first. I don't know why, but I know there's a connection there.
I mean, if they have the same eyes, she may, I don't know, may be able
Plus,
to.
she's skilled at this sort of stuff.
Up there, I don't know.
We just gotta make sure we can get her without being drugged up. If they keep getting her meds, I don't think she'll even be able to access any of that.
I wonder if
it's fair.
She was triggered the first time wasn't by me. Wait, it was by me, wasn't it? Both times have been because of me.
Because of the images or story you're telling.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like in those moments, I will say all of you've all known her enough in one form or facet to know it looks like when she starts to recall things, Sylas, you recall this from the mansion. Tyson, you recall this from both this setting and the mansion. And Teddy, from this setting. You've seen her struggle with these memories of trauma. She's never been able to divulge them, as usually when in group sessions when this has come up, it's been clouded.
I think if it comes to Elenora, I think she needs the same thing that I got. When I started to recall the yacht incident in detail, it was almost impossible to get through for most of my life, dreams, memories. But afterwards, there was a sense of clarity. Not counting the useless fucker that's always in my head telling me the worst advice, but things become more clear despite them being more confusing. It's the only way I remember the mansion in so much detail. For better or for worse.
Shit. Do you think
You got something?
No, I mean, so you have your yacht. I have my house event that I don't really recall much of. I wonder if it was similar in that there was another entity there.
After the yacht memory hit me at the mansion, my ghost father, as we say, started to appear more. The house became more violent. But every time Elenora started to have her memories, every time, she'd go into a state of shock. But these drugs we're getting, they prevent memories.
Yeah, and I don't have many memories of mine at all anyway, currently, but that is the exact moment that I got all of Jack's.
It's our memories. Which means, what if Eleanor's memories might be what we actually need to get to? The yacht's not going to help us here. And whatever Jack's memories are helps us get to Elenora, but I think we need her memories.
I think Jack's
and
memories
Teddy's
help us get to the 3rd floor. What's there? We don't know.
Jack's memories is because you meant Sylas did mention the woman in the window was Jack's wife.
Yeah.
Jack's memories points out that the 3rd floor had his wife. So Jack's memories helps us realize we need to get to the 3rd floor. Teddy's memories should help us know what's
there.
That means Eleanor's memories might
help us fight whatever's there.
That's what I was thinking. If eyes are indicative to control up there, it may be it. I don't know though. I don't pretend to understand what you 3 of you do.
In the words of Dr. Thurman, that was a nice little breakthrough we've had there.
Well, at least your guys' memories are helpful, and I guess I would just be helpful getting us through that.
Do I have a clock in my room?
I was about to say, in this moment, the door comes open. It's Mike.
Oh, wait, hey, Mike is the next one.
Hey, it's 8:05.
Yeah, sorry, just chilling.
I know, and I mean, you're getting to know each other, and that's probably good for all of you. Tyson, you're on thin ice, okay? Come on.
Yeah.
Go back to your room.
All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, do you want some fruit snacks? I got some extra from this morning.
I'm good, Teddy. Not really my thing.
I'm gonna grab some fruit snacks before I go. Can I have some fruit snacks, Teddy?
And I'm gonna give you 2. One will be an actual fruit snack, but underneath will be the oh shit, I don't know what you want, but I'm gonna give you some cotton. I'll give you another one that has some cotton in it.
gonna take those. "Ah, thanks, Teddy. And I'm gonna pocket those. You won't tell me on that, right, Mike? And then I will walk with Mike out of the room and make my way to my room.
As you're making your way, you do know that Mike was the one that you saw with Ruby, aka Scarlet. And you do see, like, on the corner of his scrubs, you see, like, there's a little bit of blood splatter.
Yeah, Mike, you okay?
Oh, yeah, you know, just stay on the job. Right?
I'm not talking about the wound. Scarlet hasn't had an episode like that.
She won't. She's better. She'll be better.
Mike, I know, like, you have to do your job and all, but, like, you seem kind of nice for this kind of place.
Yeah, I turned in my notice today.
Why?
I don't think I can do it anymore. You know what I mean? It's just not my line of work. I don't have the stomach for the treatments, and I mean it may work, I guess, in the long run, but it's just not for me, right? I probably shouldn't be telling you this, dude. Because, like, you're a patient and, like, you're here for a reason, you know?
Yeah, but
You don't seem, if I'm honest, you don't seem all that fucked up, pardon my...
no, I know what you mean, and
Do you want to know something funny?
what?
I don't remember when I started working here. I just did. And today I saw some, like, Ruby's, like, she's messed up. And I don't know how this all, and as he starts to, like, blurt this out, and there's, like, this weird realization, the walls around you become dirty. You hear heels clacking down the hallway.
I'd like to immediately respond to Mike if I can.
Yes.
Mike, don't quit. Don't say anything. Keep doing your job and do it peacefully.
As you are talking to Mike, his head falls backwards. And an arm falls. And he collapses as his eyes are blinking and he's awake on the floor. And Nurse Nora stands at the end of the hallway, head tilted, foot tapping.
Hello, nurse.
Tyson? And she almost instantly appears in front of you. She reaches to grab you to take you down the hallway. I think you've seen too much.
Is it
The
time
treatments
to see?
clearly aren't working. Let's go, Tyson. And she begins to walk you down the hallway.
Dyson follows. Does not resist.
You are taken down the hallway, through the double doors, past the receptionist, past Mimi, she sees you walking, her hands meet her face as she watches you walk, past another set of double doors, to the elevator. Nora presses up. Enter the elevator, oddly peppy music. Up a floor. Third floor. The doors open to flickering green lights. It's black outside of the windows. Same tile floor. You can hear electrical sparking down the hallway. Back to Sylas and Teddy. Although, we'll be back to you in just a second.
So,
You
Teddy,
don't know?
real fast.
Yep. Door closes.
Yep. You're on me.
What color are your pills?
Keeper, can you remind me, please? Should have
Let's
it
see.
written down somewhere.
I wrote them. Yes. Okay. So yours was P S,
Yes.
and I think it was just P S and then M.
M.
P, S, and M.
Mm-hmm.
And are these capsules?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So here's what I'm going to do.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to break the capsule apart and then dump it. And then for the next like 20 minutes or so, I'm going to teach him how to do a sleight of hand to where he can show the pill, but not the only one half, and then take the pill, the one half, without visualizing. Because I assume you're doing it from within they're looking outside of the door.
Yeah.
So we each have half a pill that we'll be doing that for. So Teddy, when they give you your pills, you just drop them or put them in your pocket, somehow stash them, and then take this half a pill that has nothing inside of it. And that's how we're going to get through this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead and show me.
So then I'll sit there and show you how to do a sleight of hand of that. So that, and we'll sit there and practice and be like, no, I can still see the other half. Like,
Okay, good. With that, you guys hanging out.
that's all I got.
I will take the cotton
Yeah.
and I'm gonna take it all out of my pocket, and I'm gonna dump out all of the fruit snack containers that have it in there, and then I'm gonna start taking it, and I want to try to recreate. If I have enough cotton for 2 of them, I'll do 2 of them, but I want to start with the creature, and then if I have enough cotton, I want to transition to Nurse Nora's final form.
Okay.
Do you want to, I mean, here in like a day or so, I'll have some thread, but like we can use a bed sheet for now to kind of wrap the cotton in, and then we can kind of try to stitch it up. That's what you're trying to do.
I don't.
So are you trying to achieve a vision of the form, or are you just in your head trying to recall what you saw?
I'm trying to recall and like put a good model to like just be able to see. I don't really know what I'm doing. It's just kind of instinctually, like that's his first instinct is to take it out and start making stuff with it. Like crafting.
Go ahead and roll your repressed memories.
Repressed memories. What's that called?
Everyone's like, "Are you sure you want to see this? Are you positive?"
Stop eating the cotton, Teddy.
There's glue involved. I don't know if it's that good for me. But hang on, repressed memories is under.
Sure, one of your
Disadvantages.
Your
It should be usually to roll +0, so you don't really add.
Yeah, it's just
anything.
you roll your
okay.
210.
So plus or -1 though, because I am distressed. So that's 9. Yeah.
So you begin to piece together what you saw, and this vision appears before you, and you see the feminine figure stitched together. You see it briskly approaching you.
Thanks for that.
And then you can almost relive the smells, the sounds, and everything, and you can tell Sylas by looking at Teddy that he knows what he's seen, and it's the same thing. And Teddy, you find yourself slinking into like the fetal position on your bed, just kind of curled up. Sylas, you can see him in this state.
I don't necessarily try to disturb him out of it, but I will kind of sit up next to him, and then while he's going through his thing, I'm just going to sort of start running my fingers through his hair. And then I will sit there and try to, based off the conversation I have with Tyson, I want to try my hardest to remember that night, and every detail that I can think of for that night.
Okay, go ahead and roll 2d10 for me.
Okay.
From that night. Okay.
12.
12. So you're sitting, trying to recall. You remember showing up at this abandoned building, met a bunch of people at a club. You vaguely remember seeing a female singer. You remember something about the smoke. Like, the bar itself was really smoky. And the abandoned building you went to is maybe 2 blocks down. But they were really friendly. But obviously they're connects, right? You all partake. And in the midst of all of this, you're sitting there and you're struggling to remember everything. You find yourself kind of coming in and out of this vision of Jack. Like, all of these things are happening. As Jack is being rained on, you open your eyes and there's blood spilling down on you. There are people in robes. And you can see somebody with this blood drawing circles around you. You can see them taking a dagger into the heart of somebody near you. You hear screaming. And these visions flash in and out before ultimately seeing something pour out of one of these circles. And you're so fucked up at the time, you can't make heads or tails of what is pouring out of this. But these circles, like, you take back to what you saw in the mansion, and you realize that they're similar. These circles are similar. That robe, oh my, wait, that was that robe. That's what you saw. And so you are experiencing those visions. But you also recall your file, Sylas. And recalling all of these things, you recall Jack's file. That was your face. Those markings in that folder from the case are the same. That's your face, Sylas. What do you do in this moment?
I just stand up and start pacing.
Okay. Teddy is curled up in the fetal position.
Yep.
Sylas is pacing. Tyson, the door's open. You turn to Nora. The facade is gone. Staring at you is that feminine stitched figure. She points out the door.
That's for me.
This way.
Before whatever happens, just out of curiosity, because I can't seem to remember, and I'm pretty sure after this I won't remember much. Do you know what happened to my mother?
She's just fine, Tyson. She's just fine.
God, it's none of you answer a question directly enough to give me any help.
Play the game. Tyson, as she begins to lead you out. And you pass, so through the elevator, you pass a treatment room. The lights flicker. You see Ruby's face. And you see her strewn about the room, conscious, similar into a fashion that you watched Mike. But she is dispersed in a dark room. As you pass this briefly, you find a series of long hallways going, and you are led to the second one. Lights flicker, padded walls. The door opens, no windows, 5x5, padded. You are pushed into this musty padded room. Before the door closes, as this figure looks in, tilts head, and smiles a little bit, you can hear across the way from you, you can hear a woman sobbing. And you can hear her muttering the name Jack. And the door closes in front of you. There is a single blinking green light. Flickering. Flickering.
Tyson is going to just sit in the middle of the room, kind of like heel to butt in a crouch position. Just take slow breaths and just kind of softly repeat. We will play the game, but I am more than a pawn. I will play the game. I am more than the pawn. And we'll just keep doing that to maintain whatever level of sanity I will need, however long I'm about to be in this confinement.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. Thank you guys very, very much.
Thank you, Taryn.
Sorry.
Yeah, this has been great.
Everything's fine, especially my my state of being, happiness, joy, and sensations of all positivity.
So we'll go ahead and let our players give themselves a quick shout out. Our famous TikToker, Ronan.
Hey, I'm Ronan. I'm at Ronan Fox. I am a writer, world builder, work primarily off Twitch, where I'm building a world as extensive as Tolkien's and has nothing to do with this cluster. And so yeah, stop on by for tips, inspiration, all that sort of stuff on world building. That's me. I'm sad.
Hey, Jay.
Oh, hey. It's been a day. He'll be held to pay. Because I'm Jay. Casual. You can find me on all social media at just2casual and casual creativity on Twitch. I do variety streaming, storytelling, and TTRPG game design. You can find me this next Friday after the American Thanksgiving for the Black Friday Adventures Wanted, in which I'll be running a Deep Breath one-shot. Deep Breath is the anime-inspired retrofuturistic urban fantasy setting in which the old world of magic, casters, and dragons are in conflict with the new world of technology, hackers, and robots. All your anime fantasies can be lived out, all with the compatibility of the world's greatest role-playing game. You'll also find me doing all kinds of other things on other shows, mostly smiling and having a grand time of positivity and not having emotional or psychological turmoil of what is real and what is not. So, oh, my bad. Casually, of course.
Our valued special guest, Logan.
I don't know how valued. No, I feel very valued. Thank you for having me. I am Logan Hanley, also known as DM_screening, your friendly internet dungeon master. I do adventure writing as well as homebrew with my friends at Dragon Rock RPG Design over on my Twitch channel. I also run the Ecrium Expeditions, a 5e campaign set in the lands of Ecrium, my homebrew setting. You can find us live every other Tuesday, with this Tuesday being our next episode at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. Bowl cut, baby of Bradford out.
Yeah, bowl cut
Bulk
baby
of
of
baby of
Bradford.
Bradford. Wow.
And I'm Taryn Hackett, your keeper. The person whose images all of this came from. My mind. I am known as Valrook across the socials. I am a generally creative human and dice maker under the moniker of Umbral Oculus Dice. That is UO_dice on Instagram. Link in bio for my merch and for my shop. I have some new sets coming soon. And then, of course, quick shout out to all of our sponsors. Session Zero Clothing, our D&D inspired streetwear. Use code ORDER at checkout for 15% off. Norse Foundry, artists and dice makers of all the kinds of dice and beautiful things. Use code TIO15 at checkout for 15% off. Roaming Player Gear, gaming supplies by our very own GotDM, code Carnaby20 for 20% off of the Dice Tower Tray combo set. Mithril Armory, the creators of the foldable 10D20 puzzle thingy bopper that kicked my behindy, but I hope you do better with it. You can use code initiative on their site to get 10% off there. Again, if you appreciate what we do, you can always support us at Ko-fi. Thank you so much to everybody at the Initiative Order and Danny for staying up forever to do this for us. Much love. We are going to raid Spot Hidden because they're running some other, Eldritch inspired loves that makes me happy. So with that, much love. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I'm going to comfort my players briefly before they go to sleep and have beautiful dreams.